Welcome back. You're still watching Sun Up on Showbiz Television, and my name is Tahir Abekusego. We've treated most of the topics already, and then we're moving straight into the Sun Up bulletins. I usually say that this is where Ghana listens. This is where Ghana makes time to sit down and listen to the most trending bulletins around our entertainment fraternity. Most of them are from Ghana, West Africa, and sometimes in the international realms. Today, on our bulletins, our very first story, we're sorry to let you know that it's a sad one. Well, you'd have to pardon us. And then, in the meantime, if you want to be part of the show, you can call in when the time is due on 0302 729 823. The number again is 0302 729 823. And better still, if you have well-wishing messages you wanted to send to somebody, you can do that through our WhatsApp number on 0503 951 006 0503 951 006. Moving straight into our first story for today on the Sun Up Bulletins. The title goes, Akwaboah Senior is dead. I'm sorry to let you know this, but we got to share it with you. Akwaboah Senior is dead. Legendary high-life singer Kojo Akwaboah died yesterday, Tuesday, May 16, 2023. The news was shared by his son, Akwaboah Jr., via social media on May 16th, amidst tons of condolences from stakeholders in the showbiz industry. Akwaboah took to his Instagram and shared a picture of his father with a caption, "R.I.P. Dad." Kojo Akwaboah is known for his popular song Arechitre, which he recently remade with his son Akwaboah Jr. The remake of the song, which was accompanied by a beautifully recorded studio performance, caught the attention of many and got massive airplay. Akwaboah Senior was also a master keyboardist who played for tons of local and international bands. Prior to his demise, he was reported to have been battling glaucoma, which made him lose both eyesight, and even in such circumstances, he still played musical instruments in a couple of videos spotted on social media. In an interview, to throw more light on his condition, he narrated a strange circumstance that led to his loss of sight. Unquote, "I woke up one day after playing with the band and realized that my right eye had blood spots on it. So I visited my doctor, who gave me an eye drop to use. But after using it for some time, it didn't work," he stated in an interview. Sad news. Sad news. A big loss to the Ghana music industry. And then reading from the article, you could tell that when this man had life, he was really full of life and has really flew the flag of Ghana very high with what he did, because being a master keyboardist and playing for some international bands as well, I think this is a big loss.
Seriously, it is. And you see, I always tell people that creativity, God is a creator. And he plants that thing in every single person that is born on this earth. It is up to you to figure out which of the things he has placed in you and how you can make this useful and beneficial to the people around you, either in your family, in the community you find yourself, or even in the nation where you have been built, you have been born. So you realize that people with such creative gifts, it's so strong inside of them that they cannot let go until it comes out of them. Until it comes out of them. And I always tell people that without creativity, this world will not be a beautiful place to live in.
Sure.
Imagine a world without music. Imagine a world without, poetry. Imagine a world without
movie.
Imagine a world without dance.
Even sport.
And sport. And you see, God always drops the idea into somebody's mind, so he would push the agenda for everybody to what? Follow through with it.
Okay.
Somebody always comes up with the idea, then other people fall.
Just like we talked on the motivational dose.
Other people fall into it, and then so you realize that's why sometimes I have a problem with our educational system, in the sense that as a little kid, my mom is a teacher, and she is specialized in preschool.
Okay.
And she always tells me that you can tell what a child will become when he or she grows from 0 to 6.
You can tell.
You can tell.
The future of a kid.
Yes.
From 0 to 6 years.
From 0 to 6, because the kind of things the child uses to play, how the child expresses himself or herself.
Okay.
If you are observant, you would identify and know the things that takes his or her attention. And if you would be very honest, observing a child from when they start toddling, start walking, and they start learning how to play with things around them, you realize that some of them, they are always busy on a milk and chancing. Waka for milk and chancing, not or broom.
I there all about jazz.
Or by jazz be them, not or a broom.
Okay.
Obusuness in your day, Waka says or milk and chancing, not what that or is ban, you know, all those kind of things. Obusuness in your day, what's the number bar? Not a soul. What's the number bar? Not a soul. Obusuness in your day. Oh, ha. Sometimes a teacher wonder where is that or it will marvel you. Then you will ask yourself that or you didn't home there or there.
Especially at that age.
At that age.
Okay.
When you observe them, you see what every single one of them, the potential they have inside of them at that age. And since my mom taught me that, and I started observing, I realized it, and I realized that our educational system is not really helping us, because as the child is growing up, instead of guiding them along their area of interest, they jumble so many things for them to what? To learn.
To learn.
Jumble so many things. Imagine today SS na GSS na D. You learn so plenty of things together.
Everybody's learning to be an accountant.
Yes, we learn plenty of things put together. And then by the time you get to the secondary, you are now going to decide where you want
to segregate.
Yes, where you want to segregate and where you want to specialize and where you want to. When at the time when you were forming your formative years, you know, they could have identified your area, your strength, and then
pushed you.
That is why you realize that them John Tay Memorial School, any kid that exhibits that love for music and thing, if you let that child go to John Tay, they come out becoming a very fantastic person, because right from infancy, he
has become part and parcel of it.
Exactly my point.
Okay.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Okay.
In the same vein, when I wear a scientist, you realize that they are interested in plants, interested in
other stuff like
exactly.
that. Okay.
I have this cousin of mine. When he was a kid, he doesn't play with other kids, so he is always in his corner. And every time he is in his corner, to them I'm McKenna. And the kind of melodies that he creates when he's playing with those milk and chance in him. And then no papa is a cameraman, and come on now, I say him. No wakafa. As I speak to you now, he has gradually, mastered into the photography thing.
This is the same situation with Akwabo and the dad.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
So you see, sometimes parents don't want to really give children the opportunity to follow what God has actually given them. You understand? And I learned from Ebo White that because the Bible says that we should honor our parents, your father wants you to become a doctor. And then deep inside you also want to become this. Okay, here's the bargain. Honor your father and mother. Just give them what they are looking for.
Okay.
And he gave us an example. Yao Pebi. He agreed to do whatever his parents wanted him to do. Then after that, he sought permission. You know what? You wanted me to become a medical doctor.
I am now.
I have trained to become a medical doctor, but really that is not what I want to do. So I want to move into something else. So just give me your blessing, give me your permission, and let me move into this and go and do what I want to do. And when the opportunity came for him to use his certificate as a medical doctor to go and work,
it was easy.
It was You understand?
Yes. Much more concerns has been raised about Akwaboah Senior being a legend already and then passing away. Let's talk a bit about his legacy. What are some of the legacy you feel he has left behind for the Ghana music industry to trail over?
What I will say is that he exhibited finesse in everything that he did. You know, there are people who are born with their talent, and there are those who come and learn how to become good at
Something.
it. So when the person is born with it and it is innate, they don't stress before they give you the best of it.
Out of it.
You
True.
understand?
True.
And in his case, the kind of songs he churned out and the kind of what do you call it, tunes that he played.
plays.
You listen to his tunes and it's
So touching.
soul touching. And you know, music is such that when you are, depending on the mood you find yourself, there are songs you can listen to, even just instrumentals. You can listen to those instrumentals and it just
Feel
keeps
okay.
you calm because it speaks to your soul. You don't necessarily need to be hearing the words or the lyrics.
Should you even understand before?
But you realize that the instruments put together generates a certain kind of rhythm that speaks to your soul. And I think that's exactly what Akwaboah has done.
Wow.
At least he did not, you know, allow that thing.
To just go
Unlike
away.
some people would say, well, I wanted to do this, I was not given the opportunity to do it, and so I just, you know, threw
Let
it
it
into
go.
the dustbin. No, he pursued.
Morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this so wonderful. Let's make this so powerful. Let's make this a beautiful day.
Showbiz TV app is live on Android. Go to your Play Store. Search Showbiz TV. SHOBIZ. Download the Showbiz TV app. Now open the Showbiz TV app. Tap on Showbiz TV live stream, which takes you to Showbiz TV Live. Tap on that, and you're set to watch Showbiz TV live all day and all night. Showbiz TV, beyond music.
You go see me for countryside. Sugar cane sweet, but girl, your love is sweeter.
We promise you an exhilarating time span of delight on Afro Section.
Strawberry ginger.
Your world's about to get rocked with the finest visual playlist of Afro hit songs across the continent.
We know we fun like me. We know we fresh like me. We know we hot like me.
Your satisfaction is a surefire thing, so just loosen up and drift into an Avalon of multifarious Afro music on Showbiz TV.
I'm protected by Jah Almighty Father. Them can see we from afar.
I am your party giver, Kathy Brown. Afro Section, showing every Monday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Showbiz TV.
The app is live on Android. Go to your Play Store. Search Showbiz TV. SHOBIZ. Download the Showbiz TV app. Now open the Showbiz TV app. Tap on Showbiz TV live stream, which takes you to Showbiz TV Live. Tap on that, and you're set to watch Showbiz TV live all day and all night. Showbiz TV, beyond music.
You go see me for countryside.
Showbiz Top 10. Showing every Thursday on Showbiz TV. Shobiz TV, Beyond Music.
Morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this so wonderful. Let's make this so powerful. Let's make this a beautiful day. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this so wonderful. Let's make this so powerful. Let's make this a beautiful day. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways.
Welcome back. You're watching Sign Up on Showbiz Television. We are sorry about the technical hitch-up before we're moving straight into the bulletins as we're discussing. I'm here with Oyeba Mensah and we're talking about the legacy Akwabwa Senior left behind.
So, like I was saying, the legacy he has left behind is that today, even though he is gone, his son is still going to carry out
Exactly.
whatever it is that he has left behind.
Sure.
He is not gone and lost.
Not at all.
He's left behind a legacy that would always make us what?
Remember
Him. And I think that is one thing a lot of parents fail to do. In as much as it is very important that children are given the opportunity to discover themselves and really do what they want to do. You also, whatever you have been given, whatever assignment you have been given on this earth, you need to leave a legacy. And that legacy must be imprinted in one of your children at least. Because if that does not happen, then it means once you're no more,
You'll be gone forever.
you'll be gone and gone for good.
Oops.
Because we have so many examples and instances of businesses that really made names in this country, and the minute they died,
The owners are dead. The
owners-
businesses go down.
The businesses go down simply because none of their children was able to find passion with whatever their father
did.
or their mother was
But,
doing.
but don't you think sometimes it's the cause of the parents in maybe in planting whatever they were giving as God-given talent into their own kids? Because there have been some circumstances where should a father be talented with something, like you did mention, I forgot the name you just mentioned, where he took the talent from the dad being a photographer. Maybe the parents go the wrong way trying to get the kids to pick the talent they already have, because sometimes the parents find a harsh way to get into these kids, and it doesn't make the kids find whatever talent their parents had as attractive as their parents used to be.
You see, like I was saying, first of all, identify what this child finds passion in. What is it that interests him? You understand? There is no one person who has been given just one talent.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Just like the way somebody would be born and would learn how to act, not because they have been born with the skill to act,
okay,
but will learn it. The same way, even though the child, you identify that this child is able to sing. You know, music comes with what? Singing and dancing. So if the person can sing, depending on how you woo them into it, they can learn how to dance alongside singing. It all depends on how you do it, because even the Bible says, train up a child the way he should go. And when he is old, he will never depart from it.
Sure.
So it starts from that cradle.
Okay.
It starts from the
While
cradle.
the kid is a baby, from that zero
age.
Okay.
It starts from the cradle. I mean, there are some children, some babies, sabio, opedo janana. Oh yes, I be a humpodo opedo janana. But there are some babies too. Opedo janan, but by your sign, me who don't know. I don't know about or feel uncomfortable. You have to take it out. You understand? It all depends on the mother and the father, how they have imbibed these things into that child.
Okay.
And you realize that automatically with time, they pick these things, and then gradually they are adjusting.
Very much. You're still watching Stand Up on Shobiz Television. We are into the bulletins, and then we're talking about Senior Akwaba dying out. So sad for Ghana music industry. But we are fortunate to have his son, Akwaba Jr., who will be continuing his dad's legacy. Let's see how Akwaba Jr. would also come out with another Akwaba Jr.
Exactly.
And then transfer it to him.
Tradition goes on.
Tradition goes on. You can also join us in the conversation via WhatsApp on 0503-951-006. You can call in through the number 0302-729-823. Moving on to the next story. Abeku Santana makes a sharp U-turn, apologizes to Pizza Man CEO. Into the story. After swearing heaven and hell that he will never apologize to Pizza Man CEO, Ace radio broadcaster Abeku Santana has made a sharp U-turn and apologized to Pizza Man CEO for earlier describing him as a heartless and wicked. Last Friday, Abeku Santana went on live radio and called out the CEO of Pizza Man for dragging two of his workers to court and getting them jailed for 5 years for stealing 20 boxes of chicken wings and 2 gallons of vegetable cooking oil from the restaurant's warehouse in Kumasi, Ghana. While venting his anger on live radio, Abeku Santana chided Christian Boachi Yadom, the founder and CEO of one of the fastest growing Ghanaian-owned fast food chains, for exacting harsh punishment on the poor workers. Although he was called out for his hypocrisy after the video went viral, Santana insisted that he said nothing wrong, hence he won't apologize. However, it seems after some sober reflection, Santana has rendered an unqualified apology to Pizza Man CEO. Abeku Santana admitted that he spoke with emotions when he ignorantly described Christian Boachi Yadom as not elite. He further clarified that he should have known better and considered the fact that thieves wanted to ruin his business. This sounds similar to Sean Kuti's story that we discussed yesterday, where after his harsh behavior, after his sober reflections, turned himself in. Now it's Abeku Santana's turn. Since last week Friday, he's been on people's lips, being bashed badly because of the statement he made about the incident that happened in Kumasi. But now here is he taking a U-turn. They say sharp U-turn. What do you have to say about this?
Well, this whole issue, to start with, I would say that I do not, the workers, first of all, I will not applaud them
for what they did. Not at all.
I will not applaud them for what they did. But then again, looking at it from the other side too, I would say that sometimes with most Ghanaian employers, they need to consider certain things. I always say that when people are taken care of, when people are satisfied, when people are happy, you don't get them doing certain things.
True. I agree.
Yes. As an employer, you may not be able to meet everybody 100%. But if you're able to meet them halfway and at least make them feel good about what they are doing, make them feel a sense of belonging for what they are, whatever it is that they are doing, I don't think the idea of going to, steal
Some company products for sale.
will come into their mind.
True.
Unless, of course, they are just bad nuts who happen to find themselves working in your organization.
True.
And of course, sometimes some people, depending on their upbringing, you would always find them doing things of this nature. Then another thing too is that people go through certain frustrating situations sometimes, which pushes them to do certain things that under normal circumstances they would never have done.
True.
Do you understand?
I do.
And I have been in the construction firm, firm before. I've been in the real estate firm before.
Okay.
And I can tell you that sometimes when people do not receive, good pay, they are tempted to do all kinds of things. They are tempted to pilfer, which is not good. Because imagine, he has a wife, he has kids going to school, he has to pay rent, he has to do this, he has to do this. And then you look at the economic situation in the country, and then probably you hire him and you say you're paying him maybe 500 Ghana cedis in this current dispensation. 500 Ghana cedis. How much would he allocate to his rent? How much would he allocate to paying school fees? How much would he allocate to feeding his wife and kids? I mean, just look at it from that angle.
True talk.
You understand? So as an employer, in as much as you also have a very huge, expenditure basket on your hand, you need to sometimes put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself these questions.
Are they happy?
Are they happy?
Are they satisfied?
Why is it that in some organizations, people would go any length to, time, effort, and everything just to make sure that the job is done? Simply because their employers are using the little incentives to do what? To keep them, drawn
to the work.
to what they are doing. Meanwhile, for others,
Onto
to
them.
hell with you. They don't really care.
So
And then, coming back to what the comments Abeku Santana
made
passed, I think that sometimes we are too quick
to judge.
in making certain pronouncements. Maybe, of course, in his case too, I wouldn't really fault him too much because
He said
we
he
are
spoke out
human.
of emotions.
exactly,
He thought for them. He felt for the workers.
exactly my point.
Yes. Even
See,
you're trying to become emotional talking about it.
Look at it this way. Somebody goes to steal a fowl and then he is in prison for probably 5 years or 10 years. And somebody is using a pen to steal state money
Stash of
or
money.
divert state funds
Funds.
into other things, and yet they are walking the streets of Accra free. I mean, how do you balance that kind of
And
equation?
not to cut you, sometimes these employees see their employers maybe do some expenditures which make them feel they are less important to them.
Exactly.
Like for instance, if you know if you're an employer and then your employee is seeing you exchanging cars or buying luxurious stuff, and then his salary is not coming. Probably he's been complaining about some increment and then it's not coming. You'd force this person to get into some bad behaviors.
Thank you very much. You get it?
Yes.
So I used to have this lecturer in Alliance who said that what you want others to see on you must be seen in you.
Say that again.
What you want others to see on you,
you.
must be seen
In
you. Which means that what you want people to believe you are, be that yourself.
Okay.
because you want him to believe that the company does not really have funds to pay them so much. Then carry yourself in that manner so that they would believe that yes, true to form. Ebiniho.
True.
But if you carry yourself over and above what you are making them believe, then obviously they won't believe you when you tell them that the company does not have money.
Yes, true. So I'm quick to ask you this one. What responsibilities do business owners have when dealing with employee theft or misconduct?
What I will say is that for every organization, there are laid down rules and regulations. And even in our labor laws, there are rules and regulations for handling these things. So once the disciplinary
structure
policy is in place, you follow through with a disciplinary policy. In some organizations, it is spelled out. If you're seen sleeping on duty, maybe it comes with a summary dismissal, or
reduction
you must go on a reduction in salary. It depends.
Yes.
Depends on the organization and what they have laid out as punitive measures. And of course, if it's a punitive measure, then the employee needs to know. They must be made aware that these are punitive measures if you fail to do A, B, C, D, or if you flout the regulation. These are the punitive measures that comes along with it. And then on the side of employees too, I will say that ignorance is not an excuse of the law.
True.
So in as much as you are an employee, don't just be there. Be interested in knowing what the company regulation says.
True. And I make sure you live by it, because that's where you're going to be.
Learn about it, understand it, live by it, so that you don't find yourself wanting. Otherwise, the day the trap gets you.
Trap nachibela. Before we move on to the next one, I want to ask you this last concerning Abeku Santana. How does public scrutiny and backlash, particularly through viral videos and social media, impact the actions and behavior of some public figures? Do you think it played a role in Abeku Santana's decision to apologize to the CEO of Pizza Man?
Of course it did. It did. Like we have been saying, there are times when you act on impulse. Based on the situation, your emotions come into play, and then you take action. On the spur of the moment, you may not be aware of the impact of what you have done. But other people who observed would see through and start talking about it. And you realize that when you start listening to what other people are saying, or probably when, you know, some elderly people also step on your toes to let you know that, look, you know what, I think today you went overboard, or today it looks like you were not able to control your emotions and all that. You sit back, think through it, and then any and then you do the needful. So in this case, that's exactly what has happened. You know, based on the way people started lashing out, because a lot of people love Abeku for what he stands for and how far he has come and all that. But of course, the fact that people love you, that is when they would, you know,
speak about
you when they see that this direction you have taken is not the best. It's not helping. So that's exactly what has happened.
True. And I think in that sense, it will be a very good direction for Abeku, because if he had not reflected soberly, then this backlash wouldn't stop. And then it might go a long way to affect his brand and his image.
Exactly.
True. Moving on to the next story, continuing from yesterday's Sean Kuti, there has been a development, so into it I read now. Court remands Sean Kuti for 48 hours after alleged assault of police officer. A Lagos court has remanded Afrobeat star Sean Kuti in police custody for 48 hours following his alleged assault on a police officer. The court indicated that the 48 hours was to give the police time to complete their investigation of the alleged assault. This comes after Sean Kuti turned himself in a 12-second video clip that went viral on Saturday May 13. Mr. Kuti reportedly has assaulted a policeman on the 3rd mainland bridge in Lagos State. Lagos police spokesman Benjamin Hudeyin tweeted that Kuti had turned himself in on Monday after an order was issued for his arrest. He on Tuesday yesterday then arraigned before Yaba Magistrate Court for assault on police officer, an offense contrary to Section 356 of the Nigerian Criminal Code Act. In a report by The Punch Nigeria, the police had petitioned the court to detain Sean Kuti for 21 days for a full investigation to take place, but the lawyers of the musician protested the remand. The judge, however, gave the police 48 hours to remand Mr. Kuti and complete their investigation, after which he should be released on bail. Mr. Kuti is expected to be granted bail in the sum of 1 million naira with 2 responsible sureties, a 3-year tax payment receipt that is variable. One of the sureties must have a landed property within the court jurisdiction. The case has been adjourned to May 23, 2023. What are your thoughts on the question, the court's decision to remand Sean Kuti for 48 hours?
According to their system, they have to, conduct investigations. And he is a suspect until found.
Investigations are clear.
Yes. So for that, I don't think they have done anything wrong by holding him until they gather their details and they are sure and certain about, because right now he is saying one thing and probably the police officer too is saying something else. So they need to speak with both parties, gather information, get witnesses to say what they have to say, and then piece all these findings together and conclude that, yes, there's nothing to hold him
for, because he didn't turn himself in.
Exactly.
But my worry,
the fact that he turned himself in should even indicate that he is willing to cooperate.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
There are instances where the person is not willing to cooperate, which makes the situation become nastier.
Sure.
You understand? But in this case, he says he's willing to cooperate and help you with your investigations. And you're saying that, okay, in that case, we are remanding you for, 40.
Initially, the courts had wanted to remand him for 21 days, but for the plea of his lawyers. So this is what I want to ask. Do you think the viral video about the incident affected or influenced both Sean Kuti's decision of going to turn himself in and the court's decision?
Obviously. Like I keep telling you, social media has become like a double-edged sword. Just like the Bible is. A slashes left and a slashes right. Are you getting it?
Very much.
For as long as the video has gone viral, people have seen it, and knowing who Sean Kuti is, people would come up with all kinds of, opinions about what they think as far as his actions per the video is concerned. Because, when you know someone either personally or from afar, you have a certain impression about the person.
Sure.
You understand? And then when you hear something or see something about what the person has done, you become
like surprised.
For real? Did he really do that? Did he really? What is it that pushed him to do that? You understand? So, based on that, obviously you would also express your opinion about what you have seen, what you think of what has happened and all that. And if whoever is in the middle of the action has ears to listen, you would see that he will also pick his bits and pieces, consider it, analyze it, and where he sees that, no, I think I went overboard, so I really need to calm myself down and then do the needful, because I have this at stake, or I have that at stake, or I have a name to protect. You understand? Because image is everything.
Yes.
Once it is quashed, it's quashed for good. You can't, there's nothing you can do to, be able to warm yourself back into the hearts of people again. So it's about image and where this image,
Is
represents
going
you.
to.
You understand?
Yes. Yes.
So I think based on the
Viral videos
the
that
viral
went out.
videos and then the lashes that came out of it, he also did some introspective whatever it is, and then he realized that no, he needs to do the needful.
He needs to do that.
If he really wants to maintain his image,
Yes.
then he needs to know that.
And then Sean Kuti we are talking about here is like Akwabo Jr. He's also coming from a very, very renowned family. His daddy was the main originator of Afrobeat music, and he himself is also riding the same name as his dad, doing the same job that his daddy did. So I feel it's a step in the right direction for his sober reflection. But I want to do a quick reminder on what we talked about yesterday when we were talking about celebrities getting their ways with some of the things that they get to do. Do you think if Sean Kuti wasn't a celebrity, the pardon the lawyers put out there for instead of the 21 days will be reduced to the 48 hours?
See, even in the animal kingdom, some are more important than some. I'm sure we all know about the animal farm. You understand?
Yes.
So sometimes your profile or your status.
Your status. Or maybe your father's name.
Yes, your father's name.
Yes.
Could either pave way for you or deny you certain opportunities. And I'm sure when you mention Sean Kuti's father's name,
Fela.
I'm telling you, there is nowhere under the sun nobody knows about Fela Kuti.
True. True. Just like Akwaba Jr.
Exactly. I mean, he was on the globe.
He's still on the globe. People do research about him still.
Exactly. You understand? So if you are a stock of somebody like this, you should know that he has worked so hard to build a certain brand, a certain image. So whatever you do,
You have to be careful.
you'll have to be careful.
You have a name to protect.
Exactly. And in the same vein, we also have, on the flip side, we also have some people whose parents did not really
Put out a good name.
put out a good name. So the mention of their names, everybody starts
Causes trouble.
You
Can you give me an
understand?
example of such name?
Don't
I want.
Don't
I want
temptation
to
me.
start. At least one name. At least one
I
name.
beg you, don't temptation me, please.
Martin, we'll keep it in the fridge.
Temptation
So
me.
moving on to the next story, done with Sean Kuti. We are talking some VGMA, and this one is about episode. He says, I was eyeing the High Life Song of the Year instead of the Best Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year with Atia. Into the story, reggae dancehall artist Episode has disclosed the award he wanted instead of the Best Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year he won at the recently held VGMAs. Despite being primarily known for his contributions to the reggae dancehall genre, Episode's exploration of high life has undoubtedly taken his music to new heights, and he was hoping to snag the High Life Song of the Year with his hit single Atia. Explaining in an interview why he wasn't expecting the Best Reggae Dancehall Song award, Episode emphasized that he felt the high life inspirations and sounds made Atia rather popular. I quote, I wasn't expecting it. When they were mentioning it, my head was down because I was eyeing the High Life Song of the Year. The high life part of Atia worked more than the reggae, he explained. Still on quote, I am trying to be honest. The reggae was the mother of the catalog, but the high life took it to a different level. Quote close. Episode has also shed light on why the song appeals to the reggae dancehall fraternity. Into another quote, it's just that what made the reggae work was because it had all the original elements and because it was also produced live. It also gave it the mileage and shout out to the fans. The 2021 VGMA Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year was, however, quick to show his gratitude for winning at the 24th edition of the VGMA. He said this in a quote, I am just grateful to represent reggae, even though last year people were tagging me as a high life artist. This is my second VGMA after winning Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year in 2021. How do you view Episode's perspective on wanting to win the High Life Song of the Year instead of the Best Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year?
I believe he knows what he put into his high life song. And having won awards as a reggae dancehall artist over the years, probably he also decided to, you know, twist the
add a little
flavor.
touch.
Yes, he decided to twist the flavor a little to test the environment to see if people would, you know, buy into it. And I'm sure a lot of people sort of enjoyed the high life twist. But you know, when you know someone for something, when you can identify him with something, when you see that change, it doesn't easily...
A blur of taste.
Yes. It will take time for you to adjust to suit that new flavor that is coming. You understand?
True.
It's just like we just said a few minutes ago. When you mention Akwaboah, everybody knows Akwaboah for what? High life. When you mention this man's Shatawale, everybody knows, you know, dance hall.
Okay.
Because that is how he projected himself.
That's the image he's been put
that
out
is
there.
the image he has been putting out there for years. So people came to accept him
the way
for that.
Okay.
You understand? So if along the line you want to bring a twist, you want to bring a certain change, it isn't going to happen overnight. It will take time for people to, you know,
buy into
those new flavor.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
I get it.
Unless from the onset you serve both meals at the same time for people to get used to the fact that
you own them.
Exactly.
Okay.
For example, take KFC for instance. The taste of KFC has been like that since time immemorial. He hasn't changed it.
True.
Because that is how he projected himself.
That's a signature taste.
Exactly. Are you getting it?
Yes.
And when you speak to a lot of the caterers, they will tell you, if you want people to fall in love with your tasty meals, you need to have a signature taste, which would always want them to come back for more. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So unfortunately, I wouldn't say fortunately or unfortunately, but in a way, episode gave us a taste of what? Reggae and dance hall, which we have fallen in love with and we have grown with before he is now coming to serve us with what? High life. Even though high life is very indigenous with us, it's something that makes us who we are as a people. When it comes to the person serving the meal, it depends on where the person started from.
Sure.
You understand? So I would only beg of him. He should give us some time.
And probably more high life tunes.
Exactly. Yeah. He should give us some time and then add more of the high life, you know, flavors. Give us more of the high life flavors, and then with time, he will see that people will start, you know, flowing through with his. And then I'm waiting to see that day he would get the high life artist of the year. I'm just waiting patiently. Yeah.
So some other thoughts are that what factors do you believe contributed to Atia becoming popular, particularly in relation to its high life element? Is it vital for artists to experiment with different styles and sounds in their cumulative to their audience?
I would say that as a musician, you need to be able to try almost everything.
Okay. You need to be versatile.
You need to be able to try almost everything. You understand?
Okay.
So that, just like we are saying right now, people have known him for reggae. And it's traveled on for years. And now he wants to give them something different.
Something indigenous.
Exactly. And it is looking like, but this guy too.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? What is he trying to? Are you getting it?
Yes.
But when you give people the feel of the different flavors, give them the feel of the varieties, you understand? Because it's just like providing a one-stop shop.
Okay. Okay.
They want
the same thing every
R&B,
time.
they get it. They want reggae, they get it. They want high life, they get it. They want this, they get it. You are giving them a one-stop shop.
Okay.
But then out of these different, you know, whatever they call different genres that you are serving us, there must be one out of the lot that has a certain fine touch.
Make you stand out to be recognized
Exactly.
for. Okay.
You understand? So that when they talk about high life music,
They know you're there.
you are there. Are you getting it?
Very much.
Of all the genres that you are giving us, there must be one out of the lot that when they talk about, definitely your name cannot be left out. Are you getting it?
Very much. Very much.
But then if it becomes like a, you know, a jack of all trades thing,
Trying,
a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this, but you don't really specialize in a particular area to make people feel you there, then there's a problem.
That's a problem. In what ways do you feel music award schemes influence the direction of our music industry?
With this issue, what I have to say is that to a large extent, these music awards have come to stay. Whether we like it or not, it has come to stay. So moving forward, we are expecting it to look better and get better. And like you are saying, in a way, it has kind of skewed the way we appreciate music.
True.
You understand? And because of that, anybody who's now coming up with whatever music they want to produce, they kind of use that as a yardstick.
True.
To measure what they want to, you know, bring out to the public.
Because that's what is being challenging those who are already in the industry.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's just like doing a market survey before you start serving people with what you have.
Okay.
You understand? If you don't check out the market and be sure what people would love, what people would patronize, you would realize that you will bring the product or bring the service, but you wouldn't really get people patronizing it. So in a way, these award schemes have kind of, you know,
shaped the industry.
Yes, they have shaped the industry. Are you getting it?
Very much. Your thoughts are also welcome on the Sun Up here on Shobiz Television. The numbers to call in if you have anything to share with us is 0302-729-823, and then the WhatsApp number is 0503-951-006. You can also call in and share your thoughts on all the things we've been discussing here so far. And then if you have a well-wish message to send to anybody, send it to the WhatsApp number like I've mentioned, 0503-951-006. Moving into our next story on the bulletin today, Ochiame Kwame, one of our own favorite, he has come out with something strong, and he said that I became depressed when I was turning 40. Let's go into why. Ochiame Kwame has revealed that he got depressed when he was about to hit 40 years. According to him, while in a situation, he would always want to be alone and would not even pick calls from people. He explained in an interview that the depression was triggered when he thought about getting more hit songs and living up to the competition in the music industry. Ochame, however, noted that his escape was when he fell in love with nature. He developed an interest for climate change issues, a reason he has been championing a lot of climate change initiatives in recent times. Unquote, when I was turning 40, I became depressed. I didn't like my life, so I stayed indoors for almost a year. I didn't release an album. I didn't pick any calls. I stayed indoors for almost a year, reflected. And after I came out of that depression, I realized that most of the things that depressed me, into bracket, the way the society sees me, where I wanted my music to get to, that it wasn't getting to, the insatiable desire to become number one, the urge that I have to compete, bracket close. All those are things that become a part of consumerism. They are things that would cause one to do things without considering the feelings of others, without considering the feelings of the universe. Quote close. He said in the interview. The climbing clock ambassador also noted that on his journey to rediscovering himself, he realized that the concept of self doesn't mean him as an individual, but rather the people around him, the trees and the animals. Therefore, on this journey to healing from, quote, all the nonsense, that the society had fed him, he realized how important it is to preserve the environment. In the tandem with his climate change ideals, he decided to use coconut fiber for the manufacturing of his box-up brand, Love Equation.
I love this one.
You love this one? How much do you love this one?
You see, as young people growing up, we always had a lot of people saying that life begins at 40. Life
True.
begins at 40. Life begins at 40. For some of us, we thought that when they say life begins at 40, then it means if by age 40 and you are not married, you are not, you haven't had kids, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, then it means you are
Whining out.
whining out for failure, or probably you're already a failure. But with what Ochiame Kwame is sharing with us, every stage in your life, there comes what I call a renewal.
Every stage in your life
Yes.
comes with a renewal.
It comes with a renewal. It comes with a new drive. It comes with a different passion. You would realize that while in school, you had a certain impression about everything around you.
True.
Something drove you to desire for certain things. But then by the time you are out of school and you come into the real world to start work, your perception about all these things that were around you, they change.
They will.
Because whilst you were in school, you know, you saw others in a certain light, others also saw you in a certain light, others anticipated that you will become this or you become that. You also anticipated others will become this or become that. But then when they got into the wilderness, I call it the wilderness
The
of
real life.
the real world of life, you realize that the kind of perceptions you had while you were in school is not the same thing that happens in the real world.
True.
You understand? So obviously, the experiences you come into contact with on a day-to-day basis as you evolve gradually changes your perception about life. In the same way, the kind of encounters you have with people also changes your perception about this life. And most importantly, the kind of relationship you have with your father with time also changes your perception about this life.
Which kind of father are you talking? Are you talking about the Heavenly Father or
I'm
the
talking
worldly
about
Father?
I'm talking about our Heavenly Father.
Okay.
You understand? Our parents have a role to play.
Okay.
But you realize that they were only used as a conduit to bring you into this world. But at the end of the day, you are answerable to your Heavenly Father. You are not answerable to your earthly father. While on earth, you do as they say. But then, at the end of the day, your journey, you are answerable to what? Your Heavenly Father.
True.
Are you getting it?
I'm
So for him to get to that stage where he starts, looking back, reflecting, and then thinking through and realizing that, hey, am I really on the right course? Am I really doing the right thing? Is this what I'm supposed to do? And I like the fact that he said self did not mean him as an individual, but
people
rather
around
about
him.
the people around
The
him.
trees and the animals.
What it meant was that how do you impact? What he means, how do you impact the people around you?
Okay.
Very typical in this country of ours. Even I am more anyone to feel.
Yeah, one then.
How do we make them feel? And when you observe the way these cats, dogs and things behave, sometimes one day by chow there sebio or one po when you why is it that the cat will never go and,
Have a loose
defecate in
stool.
the open. But we have
People.
human beings, who are supposed to be a little above animals, act better than how animals would act, and yet you see them defecating along our beaches. So with what Ochame Kwame is saying, he got to that point where he realized that something had gone wrong somewhere. He was not doing something right. And sometimes when you get into that zone, you feel this direct caution from your maker.
Sign of warning.
A sign of warning telling you, look here, you're not charting the right path. Yes, what you're doing is good, but in addition to this, you are supposed to do A, B, C, D.
You're not complete yet.
You're not complete yet. And now, come to think of it, our own actions has affected the ozone layer, which is now becoming a threat to our lives. I read recently, and I was like, wow, where are we getting to? Before, we pride ourselves to be in a tropical zone, to be enjoying good sunlight, and now, because the ozone layer is, virtually losing its worth, our immune system is breaking down. Our immune system is breaking down, and so now people get ill, and their immune system cannot even fight
for them
anymore, simply because we have destroyed the forest.
So I feel it was a step in the right direction for Ochame Kwame feeling that way. But then we are far behind time. So my very last question, where you have 1 minute to just give me a summarization. How does Ochame Kwame's revelation about experiencing depression at age 40 challenge common misconceptions about mental health and age?
It's like I said, it's a process, and it happens to all of us at one point or the other. Some people experience what he is experiencing at a very early stage in their life, and then they redirect their course. For some people too, they don't realize it until they get to the stage where he is, before they come to that realization and start doing things putting things right. And you see, when you get to that age, you tend to reflect on a lot of things. You tend to ask yourself a lot of questions. That is when the whys and the hows and the when come in. How long is it going to take me to be able to do this, to be able to do that? Why was I not able to do A, B, C, D when I had opportunity to? Why did I fail to do A, B, C, D when I had to,
Yes.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
So it is not strange that he finds himself in that state. The most important thing is that when you get to that junction, how do you manage yourself?
We'll bring it to a pause here, and then a very, very special birthday shout outs to a rising soccer star in Birmingham, Emmanuel Ferdinand Owusu of Birmingham City Community School, from your mom, siblings, and DJ Champagne. Oh my days, super happy birthday to you. One more time, Mr. Emmanuel Ferdinand Owusu of Birmingham City. This is coming from DJ Champagne. All too soon, we are coming to the wrap of this show today. It has been an awesome time with myself here, Tahir Abekusego, and I was accompanied on the show by Oyiba Mensa, who has been awesome on today's conversations and everything. We're going to come your way same time tomorrow on the Thursday edition of Sun Up. In the meantime, I'm sending my very, very well-wishing messages to Natalia, who I took up the seat for. We're hoping to see you back very, very soon. Whatever you find yourself doing, do it with a long vision, and make sure you arrive at your success point someday, sometime. Make sure you stick and stay to Shobiz TV for the rest of our programs. Peace out.